David Reutimann began his racing career in dirt modifieds and late models. He got his NASCAR Cup Series start in 2005 with Michael Waltrip Racing. Last year, in his third full Cup season, he netted 10 top 10 finishes and earned his first victory in the Coke 600. However, the win came only after rain ended the race. Dogged by criticism for much of the past year, Reutimann looked to silence his critics once and for all with his recent win at Chicagoland. And his competitors had some kind words for him after that win.
Really happy for David Reutimann. That's a popular win, and he's a guy that's very well deserving. So happy to see him in victory lane.
You know, David is a neat guy, and I just know that win that he had in Charlotte. You know, while he took it and you know, we're just not going to throw away the trophy. You know, earning it the way he earned it tonight is the way he wants to do it. And I think they've been close at times and just haven't had all the breaks.
He's just a nice person, you know. He's the first guy to congratulate you on something and the first guy to apologize if he feels like he did something wrong. And just, you know, we all got to hang out with each other every week, but he's the guy that you'd hang out with if you had an off weekend.
That's really, really nice to hear. I don't, generally in the garage area, nobody tells you anything unless you're really screwing up. And then they come over and tell you, and I've been on that end of it. I made Bobby Labonte mad. I mean, who makes Bobby Labonte mad? You know, I did that my rookie year. So I mean, you know that if you're making a guy like him mad, you're probably doing something wrong. So I've definitely been on the receiving end of it. So it feels really good to hear stuff like that because, you know, generally as you go along, you know, drivers are not all warm and fuzzy. You know, we're all competitors out there. But to hear people say that's pretty special, and it's not something I knew.
They say you can tell a lot about a man based on what his peers have to say about him. David Reutimann definitely well-liked, even if he does sometimes feel like the Rodney Dangerfield of the sport. Wendy Venturini recently sat down with the Cup Series' most recent winner and gathered some mental snapshots of those last few laps at Chicagoland.
At that point, I'm like, man, just, you know, don't screw up. Don't do anything stupid. And stay calm. And don't cry before the end of the race.
I'd like to see the expression on his face right here because he's got to just be so excited.
Last time he went to victory lane, he did it with a little bit of help from Mother Nature. This time around, he's got a do-it-yourself driver.
Surprise! It is David Reutimann.
Are you allowing yourself to enjoy this victory?
I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying this victory more than my first one. The Coke 600 was a milestone for me. I'm not discounting that at all. But the way we won that one versus the way we won this one, as a racer, you just want to go out there and win a race just like it's supposed to be done, and that's what we did.
I'm glad you could get that next win to quiet those critics.
Oh, man, there's been plenty of them, too. I tell you. It bothered me, you know, it bothered me the fact that people were saying, yeah, they won, but they really can't legitimately win a race. And we went out there and did that. We had the best car that night. We won the race. You know, I mean, what can anybody say about that?
This time you really got to celebrate true style victory lane.
I got to do a burnout, which is probably one of the more lame burnouts that's ever been seen in Chicago. I was so keyed up and excited. There's so many things that you want to do after you win a race, and then I got to victory lane and, you know, saw my guys. You fail to realize sometimes they go hundreds of races with different race teams and never have that opportunity to visit victory lane. And so a couple of my guys came up, and it was a really special moment for them because, you know, they've been in this business a long time, working really, really hard, and I was the first guy to be able to get them to victory lane, and in turn, they were able to get me to victory lane, and it felt really special.
Do you think people don't give your team a fair shot?
I absolutely think that I have one of the more underestimated teams in the garage area. I would not, and I mean this, I would not change the team that I have for any team on pit road. I wouldn't change my crew chief, my team engineer, my changers, everybody. I wouldn't trade them. I've had guys on my team that have been with me from my very first truck race, and that's not a thing that a lot of guys can say. Don't focus on getting the chase. Just go out there and do the best job every week. Just keep our head down and not focus on any of the other stuff that's going on. If we can do that, I know we can get the chase. I feel like that would make a big statement about our team and our organization and just how good an organization we actually have.
Can you share with us the conversation between you and your dad?
He just said that, you know, this is what I knew you could do. It was cool to have, you stop and your dad put his head in the window and then tell you what a good job and how proud he is. Those are experiences for myself that, just taking with you for the rest of your life. That's something I'll never forget. That's like I took my helmet off, put it on the hook, and I turned around and there was my dad. I wish I could just capture that moment and keep it, in a place someplace so I could always go back and just look at it.
Well, David Reutimann is probably harder